Well, it's Bible time. I'm sitting out in the sun, getting some vitamin D and happiness hormones. And today I'm in the book of Isaiah. So, Isaiah is a major prophet in the Bible. We've got major prophets and minor prophets. But for whatever reason, God has drawn me to start Isaiah. So when we get to Isaiah chapter 1, verse 1, it says, "The vision concerning Judah and Jerusalem that Isaiah, son of Amos, saw during the reigns of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah." Okay, so in the past when I read this, I probably would have just been like, oh, okay, cool, thanks for the intro, and would have kept reading. But God has drawn me into a season of really slowing down and taking my time to understand the full scope of what's happening, right? So this first verse is telling us Isaiah wrote this prophecy during the times of these four kings. So that caused me to pause and go, well, just how much time was that? So with a little help from Google to point me in the right direction and my Bible, I was able to figure out that the book of Isaiah was written anywhere between 100 to 105 years, I believe. And then from there, I was wondering, okay, so for context's sake, since Isaiah is a pretty big book, what happened during the reigns of each of these four kings? Okay, so the first king, Uzziah, also referred to as Azariah. In 2 Kings 15, verse 2, it says that he reigned 52 years, and this was like co-running with his father from 791 BC. So for a year, he co-reigned with his father, and then he took over. And it says that he did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, but the high places weren't removed. People continued offering sacrifices and burning incense there. The Lord afflicted him with leprosy, and he had to live in a separate house. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one mentioned was Jotham, and Jotham reigned 16 years, and says the same, that he did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, but still the high places weren't removed. People continued offering sacrifices, burning incense there. And then we get to his son. Oh, and Jotham is mentioned for reference. It's important to know your word. Jotham is referenced in 2 Kings 15:33. That's where they say how long he reigned for. And then we get to his son Ahaz in 2 Kings 16, verse 2, where it mentions that he reigned for 16 years. And he did not do what was right in the eyes of the Lord. So that brings us to Hezekiah. Hezekiah did what was right in the eyes of the Lord. Oh, and before I get to like the major spoiler alert, right? So Hezekiah is written about in 2 Kings as well, but where it specifically mentions how long he reigned for is in 2 Kings 18, verse 2. And he is known for his significant religious reforms and reliance on the prophet Isaiah. And the big thing that I'll note about all four of these kings is that Hezekiah, not only did he do what was right in the eyes of the Lord, he removed, smashed to pieces the high places. So as I'm reading through this and I'm reading about these four kings, I'm wondering to myself, what is the deal with these high places? So that took me back to 1 Kings, which is where this high places story began with Jeroboam. Now that's a whole story in itself, but Jeroboam basically was given provision by God to lead the people, right? So, but what does he do? He gets leadership of the people. He has God's favor, and then he just decides to do evil anyway. They were supposed to go to Jerusalem, to the temple, for their sacrifice. And he said, you know, if I take my people up there, I'm basically going to lose my favor. I'm going to lose my crowd. I'm going to lose my following. And that scared him. So instead of doing what was right in the eyes of the Lord and trusting God, he had his own shrines, altars built, and told the people, hey, you guys can just do your sacrifices and worship and festivals here. We don't have to go all the way to Jerusalem. So that brings me to the question, what false altars do you have in your life? What things are you doing that appear to be right, but are actually not right at all? And it could be anything, like, you can make an altar out of anything, right? Serving, doing things for other people, but with the wrong intention. It could be even making a routine where it's more about the routine of being in the Bible and not getting off track, where to the point it becomes more about, but this is what I do, instead of having your heart in the right place. Which I know there's a time and season for that, right? We have to be disciplined. But yeah, just something to chew on. What are your false altars? What are the things that you are doing in your life that maybe aren't actually honoring to God? Think about it. Read your word. Love you guys. Bye.